Well, hello there. It's Independence Day, July 4th, 2017. And it's time now for our annual parade here in Middletown, Ohio. Now, activities start early at Woodside Cemetery down on South Verity Parkway, south end of Middletown. And the parade route goes all the way to Smith Park, and that's about a 2-mile walk. And it was an awesome parade this year. I mean, there was people all up and down the line. You could see people all over the place. And much kudos, and many kudos goes to Jerry Lewis and her team for this year's parade. There were more than 40 units this year. A lot of work went into this year's Independence Day parade, and it was obvious you could see that. And this is our 4th year to do the parade. Now, all traffic was blocked on Verity Parkway at the south end by Woodside Cemetery. And there we used the 4 lanes of traffic, and you'll see a graphic here in a minute showing the different lanes, how they were set up, and the different blocks or groups were broken down and put in that way. And hopefully everybody got there on time, so they wouldn't place in the area where they're supposed to be. Well, you know how things go. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Somebody gets there late, so they're dropped in someplace else. But everybody got lined up there, and you'll see the parade route, a graphic of that. And we have pictures from file photos from the past of that area and people getting ready in the lineup. Now, the weather was awesome that day. There was a little worry about showers, possibly showers in the afternoon. The weatherman said it was possible, but it didn't happen, which was nice. And there was no showers in the morning. It was a nice, comfortable day, not like some of the weather we've had lately, with 90-degree temperatures, with the heat index of 102, 103, and so forth. There were many new float additions or unit additions in this year's parade, which was kind of great to see because we had different groups come in, plus some of the old groups, and it really was a nice setup altogether. And everything seemed to move along without any glitches. Well, you always hope for that, because sometimes it happens, sometimes there's a little glitch along the way. But most everybody got into their assigned place. There was no dead spots this year, which was kind of good. Even when the judges were set up just down the street from where we were set up, when the Middletown Alumni Band stopped there, didn't slow anything down. They did their performance for the judges, and they got 2 awards, by the way. We'll have that at the end of the program, the award ceremony from Smith Park. And I mean, it went all the way from Verity Parkway down to Titus Avenue over to Smith Park, and the people were just lined up all the way up and down the street, which was great. And of course, we were set up on our normal place to cover the parade right at Verity Parkway and Central Avenue, right alongside, and the place is called Spoken. Now it's a bicycle shop. When I was growing up, that was Roberson & Son Sporting Goods. But even the people there in that place were in the showroom windows watching the parade, checking them out, had their friends over as well. And then everybody was in good spirits. The weather was great. Everyone was, like I said, excellent spirits and waiting patiently for the parade. And people were just standing around talking to each other. Some brought their chairs, some sit on the ground. But everybody was getting ready and waiting for the parade. Everybody was in great spirits. So our parade's getting ready now. We're going to follow that through, all the way through. And as you know, we tape the parade and come back later and do the commentary. So we'll get ready for that. And after the parade, we'll be going to Smith Park to see who got what award, okay? Stay right where you are. All right, we're getting ready to roll here with the parade. And of course, we have our honor guard coming out. Now it's the combined honor guard of different associations and military groups. You can see it's a nice, bright, sunshiny day. And we're going to talk about some of the things, the trivia with Independence Day. You know, Congress debated and revised the wording of the Declaration on July 4th, 1776. The document was prepared by a committee of 5 including Presidents Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Ben Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston. The committee in Congress made a total of 86 changes to the original Jefferson draft for the independence from Great Britain. Of course, that was we call it today the Brexit, like England breaking away from the European Union. We broke away from Great Britain and controlled by the King. And we have the Grand Marshal coming up. She's Deanna Shores. And we'll get a picture of her in just a second here. Nice smiley face and waving at the camera as she goes by. We have some of our military veterans coming up now. And this is the American Legion Post 218 with the commander riding in the front car. And then the different groups within the veterans. We have the veterans of foreign wars. Of World War II, we have our veterans here, we can see. Next comes our Poppy Queens. And this is with the American Legion Post Sister Junior Auxiliary. The kids always seem to have fun when they're in the parade. So we got 2 queens, maybe 3. There's someone, another one sitting in there someplace. Next we have the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and that's from Post 3809 here in Middletown. Everybody's happy with sunshine out today. Going by, of course, the theme this year is Unity in America, and it's the theme of our Independence Parade for 2017. Next we have our Knights of Columbus. Coming up. And there's our favorite group who rides in a little pull-on trailer every year for every parade. And the guy with the fluffy Santa Claus beard is sitting on the other side this time, since the parade's going in a different direction. No feedback yet on who we called in Santa Claus in Memorial Day Parade. There he is. Maybe somebody will let us know what his name is. Be nice. And here with VFW Post 3809 and the auxiliary. And our judges are coming up in their vehicle. This year the judges parked down the street, going toward Smith Park, about a block down. And they did all the judging sitting down there. There's a good close-up shot of the group. Next we have our city leaders, Larry Mulligan, who's the mayor of Middletown. Next we have Dora Bronson coming up. She's our vice mayor. We have all of them coming up here in just a second. Hi Dora, good to see you going by the camera. And Steve Bohannon, council member. Now years ago, this was called the City Commission of Middletown, and along the way they changed it back to be called council people. And originally they were council members, and then they changed it to commission, and they went back to being council members again. It was all basically the same thing, just different forms of government, but same process normally. All of our council people have gone by now. Next we have the Middletown Police Department, and that's our honor guard there for the Middletown PD. And behind the Middletown Police Cruiser there, we have the Sheriff's Office, Butler County Sheriff's Department, and their bike patrol. And of course, we can't forget State Highway Patrol, and they are next. Boys look like having fun riding the bikes. It was a nice day for that. And of course, here in Middletown, people know that now the State Patrol has been patrolling our areas too, but that's all part of their jurisdiction right along with the Sheriff's Office. Next is a Middletown campus of Cincinnati State. They have moved into the old CG&E building, or Duke Electric building, and they've taken over the bank building across the street on the corner as they build their foundation here in the city of Middletown. Our group, they got their local PD and security force following behind, and of course they got another truck right behind that. Coming up now is the Middletown High School Alumni Marching Band. They've been in every parade on 4th of July that I know of. We got a gentleman out there, they're picking up candy. They've been throwing out candy this year to the curbside, which they did a few years ago. Now they're doing to the curbside where the kids can go get the candy and not get involved in traffic. Of course, we have just the band marching here now. They'll go past us. They'll stop down about a block down on the left-hand side where the judges are sitting, and they will, I think they're playing America the Beautiful again this year. Not too bad for a bunch of retirees with the alumni band. Not really in step with each other, but they're out there to have a good time with each other, play music. Remember their days of high school. Oh gee, that was years ago, wasn't it, guys and gals? But here we go, and they'll be doing the national anthem to open up our program part from Smith Park, which is at the end of the parade. This year we do have the coverage at Smith Park. Some other things to talk about in 4th of July history. Jefferson and Adams died on the same day. Those presidents died on the same day, July 4th, 1826. And another founding father who became president, James Monroe, died on July 4th, 1831. Now Calvin Coolidge, who was the 30th president of the United States, was born on July 4th, 1872. Here's the 1977 class reunion from Middletown High School. Having fun that weekend, reliving old memories and just getting together and catch up on the gossip from the years gone by. But a lot of times people don't keep in touch with each other, but when they get together for the reunion, they can get together and, talk old times as usual. My class reunion was 1961. I don't know when they had their last one. I had the misfortune of not going to the class reunions, and I should have. They always seemed to be on a day of when other things were going on in my life. I couldn't get down to other activities. There's an old car too. Next we got this cute little group of kids, and they're called the Itty Bitty Bitties 2017. Don't know much about them. They might be the kids of people who have graduated to Middletown High School. Kids always look cute. And then behind them is Team Unity. That's their track and field team. Yeah, there's the boys running. There's their track and field team running. They got the hover, I think they call that, where the boys are riding on those. There they go running. Gee, it'd be nice to have that kind of energy again. And Dad's walking these kids, two of them. I can't tell if they're twins or what. But behind them, coming up, We have Church of the Ascension. They had several units this year, and they did end the Memorial Day parade as well. Some are on golf carts, some are walking, and some are just riding in cars. I'll do a little quick right picture here in just a moment. And this will be Team Fast Track. That's the skydiving group from the Middletown Airport. There we go. I met a couple of their people a while back, and they're real nice, and I told them it's great to be able to jump like that, but I have a fear of heights. It's like they never give me one of the hot air balloons either. It would be fun to go up there and take pictures, but my stomach would roll over too many times just looking out and watching videos sometimes, but yeah, it's something you have to deal with. Here comes this couple here with their golf cart, talking to the people. You know, like during the American Revolution, the legal separation of the 13 colonies from Great Britain occurred on July 2nd by the Continental Congress, who voted to approve the action. Jefferson was the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. So July 2nd was the official day that we broke away from England, but July 4th is when they worked on the Declaration of Independence and passed Congress and everything. We got coming up here is Mercy Point Church. They're involved quite a bit in the community. They're also working with the bicycle ministry who meets at their church. What I understand, they started it earlier and they ran out of space, too many guys showing up. So Mercy Point lets them use the parking lot in their area on the property for the bicycle ministry to meet. I remember several years ago there was a bike ministry also in Hamilton, Ohio, and there was a church there. And, you know, sometimes you have the false impressions of people, and these guys were the greatest guys. I worked in Hamilton at the time, and they'd come in, we'd just have a great time talking to each other, which was kind of cool. Don't know if they're still in operation, but we have one here in town, the bike ministry. Okay, it was bike, not bicycle. Little music as they go by. Here comes the kids, the Madison Youth Cheer. It's good to see kids at that age get involved in school and different activities. They just get to ride this one out. That's pretty good. That's a 2-mile walk from the cemetery over to Smith Park. There we go, girls. Wave into the camera. Say hi to Mom and Dad and Grandma and Grandpa. There we go. Coming up next, we got Jefferson Lodge number 90. And we have a lady picking up candy in front of the camera. She didn't realize what was going on. Here you go, she'll be back again, pick up more. And Jefferson Lodge is a familiar float or unit in all of our parades here in Middletown. And we got Zion Lutheran Church. There's Our Lady back picking candy up off the road, which is good. Keeps kids from running out in traffic. And there's our Zion Lutheran Church. Young man there playing with his tablet. Gotta have your tablet, gotta be texting all the time. And here's the drill team. I love the play on words on this because they're using drills that you drill, screws into the wall, and they put the flag on the end on a plate. And that's what they call their drill team. And they've been on the parades for the last several years that we've covered all these different events. And just kind of flipping that drill around a little bit. There you go. Go and wave at everybody and say hi. There you go. And we got the big tractor here. A little slow down there, but the tractor's moving now little by little. That's a nice way to do the 2-mile trek from Woodside Cemetery to Smith Park is to ride. Get a close up with people as they go by. And behind them we have the Madison Spring Fest Band. A bunch of young people doing their thing and enjoying themselves. Now we have Madison's Got Talent winner. That is Samantha Reese. Here we go, Samantha. Oops, didn't put the camera high enough. But we got to see you anyway. Next we got Songfest Prince and Princess. And that would be Brady Hamrick and Alea Pullins. Alea, I hope I pronounced your name right. Next from Middletown Christian School, right behind the Prince and Princess, we have the Eagles Football Club, football team from Middletown Christian School. And we did miss Brittany Church and Kaylee King, also in the Spring Festival in the last car. Here comes Broadway Bound and Company. And coming up next we have Access Counseling Services. We have a couple units in the parade this year. What's this young lady here? Oops, over she goes. She made it. A little help there from an older friend. Little cartwheel. I never could do those. Of course, never did try them either. Not my thing. I want to throw in a little trivia here, though. During the American Revolution, the legal separation of 13 colonies, we said that before, occurred on July 2nd. To make that 1781, the Massachusetts General Court became the first state legislature to recognize July 4th as a state celebration. And more of Access Counseling. Next is the Bash Float. Of course, they have the Bash in downtown Middletown on a weekly basis. I believe it's on Thursday night in downtown. So we have a group, a little early rock and roll music for us. And we have an attorney jumped in the parade there, Beth Yausch. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Sorry, Beth, if I mispronounced your name. Next, we have the Girl Scouts. Like the kids are having fun. Next we have the Cub Scouts Pack 28. There's their vehicle. And got a couple little ones riding in the back end there. And the rest are walking. And here comes our favorite group now from Skateway. Linda Rawls' group. And she's open like 6 days a week, closed on Thursday. There comes Michael Kroll, the dinosaur, or bee, whatever you want to call him. He always puts on a good show. And this year we got Justin Sutherland back. He does little break dancing. We'll do that just mean Michael's got to grab the young lady and bring her up to the camera. Then Michael kind of gets carried away and he got to, we'll see here. Oh, he's going to do it now. He's going to shake his booty for us. There you go, Michael. Here's Justin Sutherland. Little break dancing. This guy is awesome. And you can see a lot of his videos on Facebook. He is good. That is being nimble and limber and got it together. If some of us tried that, we'd probably break a bone somewhere along the way. There comes a good trick here in just a minute he's going to do. And I don't know this other young man's name. But watch this. Over the top. Sorry I didn't get his name when I talked to Linda and those at the skating rink. Yeah, thank you, Justin. You did a good workout there, buddy. And we got some more Girl Scouts coming up. This is Troop 40265. Kids come through. They're all waving at the camera and everybody. Next we have the Boy Scouts. And people go along picking up the candy that gets thrown out, but they allowed it this year again, the second parade. There's our favorite lady collecting candy off of the street. I don't think she realized the camera was running, but that's the way it goes. There we go. It's our Boy Scouts riding in the Jeep. Next we have the Middletown Community Foundation, just passed us by. There we go. Love that big bear. That is so cool. Next is the American Red Cross units. And we want to add in here, the U.S. Congress made July 4th an unpaid day for federal employees in 1870. Much later, Congress made Independence Day a paid federal holiday. And here's Triple Moon Coffee Shop. And throwing out more candy for the kids. That Statue of Liberty lady with the red hair. I believe that's Heather, the owner of Triple Moon. Now we have Town Boulevard Church of God. I like their float. It's kind of neat. TNT for freedom. And then we have the walking group right behind that. And the little sign says, "Unity in America begins at the cross." Very good statement. That's what this country needs to do, is get back to the cross and this country be unified again. Passing out stuff. And behind that is the Rebirth Global Ministries. They were in our last parade as well on Memorial Day. They're down on Yankee Road. We gotta get back, get a picture of the van as it goes by. Planting seeds of promise. Reverend Peebles is the pastor. James Peebles, the pastor down there at Rebirth Global Ministries. More of the Rebirth Global Ministries walking back. We got a member of Town Church walking by with them too. And here's our transit authority in Middletown. It used to be Middletown Transit Authority, now merged with Butler County. They added a couple buses in this year. That's how things go sometimes with the parade. All the churches supposed to be together in one group, everything segmented or separated by type, but it didn't work that way as usual, but it ran smoothly. There's Midpoint Library System van. They have libraries in Middletown, Westchester, and Trenton. Used to be the old Middletown Public Library, but it changed its name and it merged with the other two locations. And here's Grace Baptist with several of their floats this year in units. And we had several other countries that followed the precedent set by the United States and the 13 colonies. The Philippines celebrate July 4th as its Republic Day to commemorate the day in 1946 when the country ceased to be a territory of the United States. This day was observed as Independence Day until 1962, and then the name was changed in 1964 to Republic Day. And here's Grace Baptist Church Kids Program with their Muppets, puppets. And I love this when they bring the flag, they carry this huge flag, the 2 miles. And you're careful, of course, keep it from touching the ground, but that's an awesome part of their display every year that they do as a unit. Imagine that flag gets a little heavy too, even with that many people carrying it. Next we have the Pacemakers Classic Car Club. That's coming up here in just a moment. We see how things got a little mixed up here. We got Grace Baptist bus in amongst the classic cars, but they get their bus, get their people back home afterwards. We're getting close to the end of the parade. And right here we have Jerry Lewis and her group. Actually, they're going to stop by and pick me up. You'll hear them talking to me in just a minute. And they picked me up and they took me out to Smith Park. So I would beat the traffic, as they say. They'll be pulling over here in just a minute, waiting on me. As I mentioned them, I want to wait until the parade gets done before we head out. And we'll see all the coverage from Smith Park at the end of the parade here. Here's some more of the classic cars behind the Grace Baptist bus. And bringing up almost the rear of the whole thing is the Riders for Life. That's the bike club that meets at Midpoint Church. Midpoint Mercy Church. Mercy Midpoint. I'll get it straight eventually. And then behind them, which we don't have on here this year, is the Sheriff's Department with the horses. But we stayed with it until the bike group got up there. So now you stay tuned. We're going to go from here to Smith Park. Then the services will begin with the Middletown Alumni Band playing the National Anthem, followed by taps, and then we'll get down to the awards. A lot of awards this year, a lot of good awards. So stay tuned for more action, more fun with your Independence Day Parade coverage for 2017.
Okay, we'd like to thank everybody for coming out. First of all, we'd like to thank Jerry for all of her hard work this year and all of her volunteers. On behalf of the judges, myself, Sam Salmon, Jeff Diver, and Cam Petrosi Hammond, we want to thank everybody for their participation, all the groups. It was a hard decision this year, judging. So we're going to just hop right into it. The first awards that will be awarded are the fraternal organizations, first, second, and third place.
Sherry.
In third place on the fraternal organizations would be the Riders for Life. Rocky Sexton. Okay, in second place on the fraternal organizations, that goes to Knights of Columbus. And in first place in the fraternal organization column goes to the American Legion. Moving on to civic organizations. In third place, Team Unity. In second place, the MIDI Alumni Music Marching Band. And in first place in the civic organization category, that goes to Access Counseling. Moving on to neighborhood and youth. In third place, Triple Moon Cafe.
Come on, woman, work it. Now come make me a coconut macchiato, please.
Second place in neighborhood and youth, Scout Troop number 85.
Hang out for a minute, man.
And in first place in the neighborhood and youth, Madison Cheer.
Come on, ladies. We're all the way down.
Madison Cheer.
Cheer you right up. We can't hear you, ladies.
You're awfully quiet out there.
There's one over there.
Okay, the church category, which was probably the most difficult and the closest race out of the bunch. In third place, Zion Lutheran.
Thank you, guys.
In second place, Town Boulevard Church. Or Town Church.
Awesome, guys. Thank you. Awesome.
And in first place, Grace Baptist Church. Okay, for the special awards, we will start with the Veterans Memorial Award of Excellence, which goes to the Middletown Honor Guard.
Thank you so much.
The Ruth Tennell Community Service Award goes to Riders for Life. The congrats. The John C-Mac Love of Country Award goes to the Town Boulevard Church.
Someone come collect. Rock it out, lady.
The Kenneth E. Young God, Country, and Flag Award goes to the VFW. The Robert Armbruster Special Recognition Award goes to Zion Lutheran. the Gordon Pence Most Patriotic Float Award, Grace Baptist. Robert Brehm Veterans Award goes to the Middletown Middies Music Alumni Band.
Yes? Veterans
Award goes to
Excellence.
the Robert Brehm Veterans Award goes to Middies Music.
One moment. We'll find it.
Kenneth E. Wills Preserving Our Patriotic History Award goes to the American Legion.
American Legion. American Legion. There we go. Thank you.
Kingswell Unity in Our Community Award goes to Team Unity. And last but not least, the Broad Street Blast Music Award goes to Mercy Point. We want to thank everybody, and we hope that you guys all participate next year. And we hope to see all your smiling and patrioticness here next year.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, guys. Go home, spend time with your family, and love on your neighbor. Peace.
I want to thank all of you for joining us this year, our 4th year, in covering the Independence Day Parade, July 4th of this year. Last year was on Monday because the way the holiday fell, and they had activities in downtown Middletown. And of course, we had our awards ceremony this year. A couple years ago, we tried that, and we were out in the sunlight. We couldn't see with these new video cameras. If the light hits the viewfinder, you can't see anything in direct sunlight. You can in a darkened room. But this year we got it all. We had a little help from Jerry Lewis and her friends, Heidi, and they set us up in a little SUV facing the award stand, so that way we're out of the sun, we could see what was going on. So we'd like to remind our viewers as well, for video production, editing, digital remastering, contact us. We can do that for you. We also, like we said before on earlier parades, that we have done post-production work for a movie company and other companies as well. We did one for a German company as well, and put together video from there, video that I shot while I was in Germany, and what video was sent to me as well. So we can do all that. Another thing, how many of you have a stack of old VHS tapes just sitting there gathering dust? Well, we can take care of that. If you don't have a VHS player, most people don't. I happen to have one. I can convert VHS video to DVD. Pretty easy to do that if you have the right equipment, so forth. So if you need that done, you'll see our number on the screen, our email address. Let us know what you need. Well, this is going to wrap it up for this year, and I hope you all have a great day. We had a good day at the parade and a good day putting this together as usual. Got a little delayed this time around, but we got her done. And we'll be seeing you on the next community event that we get out and cover. Have a great day. Take care now. Bye-bye.